Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the BG Show. We are here to do episode 7 of House of the Dragon. I just finished watching it, and this is a rapid reaction spoiler review. I am joined, as always, by my co-host Adam, and yeah, let's get right into it. Um, so I just finished watching, and I guess I'll give you my thoughts. So was
Wait, I
Laenor is
want to ask
alive at
you a
the end,
question first.
huh?
I want to ask you a question for your first thoughts.
Okay.
How did you like this quote unquote Targaryen incest compared to Jaime and Cersei or Jon and Dany? I feel like Rhaenyra Daemon is way more supported versus any other one.
I mean, it's both like I mean, it's both it's both like wrong in terms of our society, but in their society, I think an uncle marrying a niece is different than siblings. I think one is more normal, right?
Well, at least in that family overall, yeah, because just for your rapid reaction, just because like Damon even says to, because like we'll get to it eventually on the beach, like, yeah, I left you because you were too
Well,
young.
my rapid
But
reaction is
continue.
my first question is that Laenor who's alive with the bald head?
Okay, that is the biggest issue I had to date, change wise from the books. Horrible decision. He gets killed in the books. Corley finds his body, like without a doubt, he's dead.
So I
Uh,
think okay, so if you with that
really bad move.
information, then like just by hearing that, what 100% that is they do not want to kill off a black character, and it's very tropey. I mean, if you watch any horror movie, any kind of movie where people are dying in it, the first person to die is always a black character. Just a thing. Oh, you see a black character, especially a male, he's gonna die. I think they wanted to avoid that, especially because he's gay too. They didn't want to kill the gay and black character, so you kind of fake his death. You put him on a boat. He has his happy ending.
Well,
I think that's what that is. That is an HBO decision. That's not a Game of Thrones decision.
well,
That's my opinion.
devil's advocate is they didn't even necessarily, if they wanted to keep really to the book, they wouldn't even have casted a black actor in the first place. So they went out of their way to escape that
Well,
part of
yeah,
the
but
book. But
I think
that
once
doesn't
they
mean
made
they
that
won't kill
decision,
him
they
next episode. Who the hell knows? Because, he wanted to fight the Stepstones.
but
And if that's where they're going, the Stepstones War is back, basically. Is like there's more battle coming.
and
So he may die there. Who knows?
the reason why it's messed up is like his parents think he's dead. So it's like, why would you want your parents to kind of go through that? But I don't understand why he'd give that up. I don't understand how they would possibly get him to agree unless they were just threatening him, like what that was. Why would he? I mean, yeah, I get it. He's gay, so like he gets to go live whatever, but like you were going to be the king or the king consort, whatever it's called. But even if, I don't really understand that at all.
I don't really, really bad change. I guess my initial thought is they figured Lanor will, they don't want to kill him off, or he'll come back later in the story. I don't know. Maybe he dies next episode. I have no
Okay.
idea.
So let's get into, I guess, the beginning of the episode. Or so she dies at the end of 6, right? Or 7?
Yeah,
Um,
no, six. Lena dies at
so
six, and
7, they're
there's a
doing the
seven.
funeral, and so they have the funeral. She kind of gets put in the casket in the sea, which is cool. Um, Damon is back, and you kind of just know, even if you're not a book reader, like, oh yeah, they're gonna get married eventually. Just kind of the way they're setting it up. Damon and Rhaenyra, that is, and
This was
there's
easily the most Game of Thrones episode, in my opinion. It was slow paced. It was very, very tense. It was very, very good.
yeah, and what's happening? So pretty much they're kind of all right. So let's get into the fight. So there's a fight between all the kids.
Well, before you
Okay,
get
no.
to the
So
fight,
Aemon, right? That's his name. Aemon kind of decides
yes,
is to take the dragon, and I was like 70% sure that he was gonna get it, but I was like 30% maybe he just gets killed right now. Maybe it's like a twist, but he ends up getting the dragon and kind of mounting the dragon and riding it. And so that kind of causes a fight because obviously her daughters wanted to claim the dragon for themselves. So that starts a fight, and eventually Rhaenyra's son cuts out the eye of Aemon, who is Alicent's son, and um, so they get kind of to the main. They kind of congregate, and they kind of are fighting about what to happen, and how much of this, I guess, is book accurate. And then Alicent loses her mind and tries to kill. Like, I don't understand how Alicent just. I don't know. No one seems to be getting punished. Like, how do you just attempt a murder on someone and you're just good? I mean, I know you're the queen, but still.
I think a lot of this just comes down to Viserys because he is the rule of law. Whatever he says, go. And he's not really one for confrontation and conflict. In terms of book accuracy, they're definitely diverging to a degree. How far they diverge and what they do with the divergence is yet to be seen. But this goes back to like one of the first things we were saying earlier in these, episode recordings is that they don't want to show a bunch of little kids showing and fighting on the screen. And in reality, if they kept truly to the book, that's what it would be for the most part. Like, even if they did that in Game of Thrones, like Jon and Dany would be like 14, 15 years old. And they didn't want that. So, it is all fudged to a degree. But before we get to the whole dragon, scene with Vagar at the funeral, one key thing that I wanted to talk about was Daemon, that little smirk laugh. I don't know why they included it. Like, he did like Lena. Like, I don't get why that was like unnecessary in my opinion and very wrong. And then of course you saw Viserys and him talking. He Viserys was nice. He offered him a place in court. He said, "You'll always have a place by my side." Like, he truly did love his brother. Daemon, for whatever reason, did not want it. Walked away. He, walked by Otto. Otto made his little dig, and Daemon pretty much said, "Get the fuck out of here. You're a leech," and he did his own thing. And then, like you alluded to, the episode really, goes off with the taking of Vagar, which they nailed in terms of book accuracy. Is that 100% glad they added the whole "I lost an eye, gained a dragon." That's great fucking line from the book. Uh, the fight was fucking awesome. Baela and Rhaena weren't in the fight in the book. It was actually all the boys, including Joff, I believe. Uh, Fine that they added them. It added an extra body to it. One little key thing that is kind of humorous in the book is I forgot who, but during it, Aemon shoves, I think, Luke in a pile of dragon shit. So that would have been nice. But they did the main thing. They had a good fight. Definitely not what you would see on a typical TV show. Definitely Thrones-esque, like you say, and brought out the blade, got the eye, and I really like this young Neiman. He had some balls, had some character, and you also saw what he was saying to Aegon before when they were looking at Helena, and Aegon, I don't know if you picked it up, is like, "Oh, I have to marry her." That's his sister. So more, he didn't want to marry her because she's kind of a little different, a little strange. But I Aemon said, like, if that was me, I would do my duty, marry her, and do it for the bloodline and blah 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 blah, like a good you know you know Targaryen princeling, like, it should do his duty. And that, I think, was a big sign of, they're trying to build up Aegon's character because you saw during this whole thing, he was drunk, passed out on the steps.
Yeah, so we have our first um fan question. Shout out to Darren Cohen. Um, okay, this is his question. I'm reading it. Didn't Damon tell the boyfriend guy to kill Laenor with a witness? When did the plan change to them faking Laenor's death instead? And did Damon know? Was he involved, or he thinks he's dead too?
See, the whole thing has changed from the book. In the book, Damon supposedly is, behind the murder in one of the testimony from, Mushroom, the court fool. In the show, they kind of combined it, but they didn't murder him. But they also showed Damon murder some random person. So it made it look like it was all a big scheme and Damon was in on it. So I guess in the show, I guess some way, somehow, Lenore and Carl figured out a way to communicate. Like, I'm not really here to kill you. We just have to make you look like it. Like there's a dead body somewhere. They threw that body in. Poor Rainey, she lost her son and her daughter, all basically all together. And it's a big change from the book because dragon and dragon rider is a big part of the lore, and Laenor is a dragon rider. Remember that. And where's the dragon?
Right.
So that's my big question.
Here's
It's too much of a change, unfortunately.
here's his second question. And why did Damon seem unbothered that the little fuckboy blonde stole his wife's dragon? If that's the biggest one, seems like he would put up more of a fight.
Uh, Damon kind of liked it when he found out. He kind of smiled a little bit, in my opinion. You know, Targaryens and dragons, it's a funny thing. He had eggs, they didn't hatch. Like, I believe Rhaena currently has an egg and isn't hatching at the current moment. So, that's why she said, like, you took my mom's dragon, it's for me to claim. It doesn't work like that. Like, you can approach a dragon and try to claim it, and it can kill you. It doesn't matter if your mom wrote it, if your father wrote it, if your cousin wrote it. Aemon, he went in there, he had the balls. Vhagar accepted him as a rider. He stood up there and, it listened to him, or she listened to him. And now it's her dragon. And Otto made a big point. Like, that was a huge, huge big for Team Green. So, like, you're going to start seeing now Team Green, Team Black. The Princess and the Queen was last episode, Princess Six, which is also known as the Blacks and the Greens. Remember, green, Alicent's dress, black, Rhaenyra's dress. So you're seeing that come out now. And taking Vygar was a fucking massive, massive win for Team Green. Anyone could have claimed Vhagar, whoever was there, they could have gotten killed, but he didn't get killed.
Yeah, there seemed to be just no sense of urgency with the dragon. So,
Well, he did go off on his own. He kind of snuck out, in my opinion. No one told him like to stay in the castle that we know of. No one told him not to go looking for it. But the way they shot it, I wish it was a little bright. You had to watch that episode completely lights out, like dark, 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 and it was good to watch, in my opinion.
yeah, so what else happens in this episode?
Well, then you had the big confrontation between the mothers. Like, this is like the main thing that you really see with this kind of throne stuff. It's conflict passed from generation to generation, and we're kind of seeing it from Rhaenyra to her kids, Alicent to her kids. And she wanted, Luke's eye out in return and vengeance. Like, that's fucked up. Like, that they're still technically related. Like, they are all one family. And Viserys laying down the law, staying in there, saying like, no, like screaming at them, we're a family. Like, you got to treat each other better. And it was a very, very tense episode. And if you saw when they really went at it, when she went at her with the blade, and before she slashed at her, Kristen Cole came and everything, and Damon went up to him and stopped him. Like, he's ready to fucking fight. So war is ready, and they are married. And the parents, Viserys does not know that yet.
Yeah, honestly, one thing I've noticed is the security has been terrible. Whoever like the security guards are, because they let the guy Joffrey get killed by Christian Cole at the wedding. Like, where's the security? They let the kids have the fight. Where's the security? They let Laenor get killed. Where's the security? Or Faye killed, whatever. And then they let what's his name?
Well, the two, and let the little princelings and the kids fight.
Yeah, but what's the fourth one? Oh, and then this thing, and then they let her charge forward with a knife. Like, how did she even get in position to get that far? Like, where are the guards?
Well, first of all, she's the queen, and it was a spur of the moment thing. She took the knife off Viserys's hip and went at her. So, as a king's guard and any household knight of that particular house or the crown, if you're told to protect the queen, you're not expecting high elite people. Imagine going to the White House, going to meet with the president and a senator and a secretary of state walk in or whatever, and then they start shooting at each other. Like, it would be so unexpected. Like, the Secret Service wouldn't know what to do. Like, that's what it's like. But I agree. the wedding stuff changed from the books. Like I said, that was supposed to be an attorney. This, you know, not from the books. I liked it that she grabbed it. Very ballsy of her to slash. I didn't think she was going to slash. Did you think she was?
Um, I wasn't really sure. Once she did that, I wasn't even sure if she was gonna die. Now I knew she wasn't gonna die there, but it was seemed like she was bleeding a lot.
Well, you know she wouldn't die. I thought she was. I thought everyone was surprised that she did go forward with the slash, and Viserys at the very end, you know, she drops the knight, she drops the blade, and remember, he's making this like a massive thing to Rhaenyra at the beginning of the whole series. Like this is Aegon's blade. Doesn't even pick it up. He's like, I'm going to bed.
So the episode ends with we've already spoken about this, but Laenor, I guess, with a shaved head. I don't even know why his head is shaved.
Well, you have to understand, no one in the world really has the white kind
Oh,
of
the white
platinum
hair,
blonde
yeah.
hair. But
So
the other thing that people have to understand is the whole bastard thing, because that's what really started it. Was he called them bastards in the tunnel, and it really spilled over. Is Viserys is obviously unwilling to accept that, and when he says to Aegon, like, because Aemon said, like, I heard it from Aegon. Aegon's like, just look at them. Like, I thought that was actually very, very nicely well done. Like, to get the kid involved, like, is actually like a pretty good move in my opinion. And Viserys is really stuck in a rock and a hard place. Like, he's made his bed now; he's got to lie in it. But you know, you could tell tensions are very high.
so yeah, that's episode 7. We have 3 more episodes left. I think setting up to be good. Obviously, I don't know what happens. You do, but
Well,
I mean, you don't know exactly how they'll do it, but I mean, they'll probably. It
there
looks like they're going to follow the books, pretty closely.
there is another actor actresses change with the children. So I mean, we do get more new children again. So that was good. But the other two things that I really think we need to focus on is they did show a lot of dragons in that episode, but they didn't really focus on them, which was really nice. Like Aegon's dragon was there, Helena's dragon was there, Sunfire and Dreamfire. Dreamfire, like I said, is supposedly Dany's mother's dragon's eggs. Like she's the true mother of dragons, Dreamfire. But Daemon and Rhaenyra's wedding ritual, they had witnesses. If you notice, it was their kids. Like I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, like, and I think they had one other adult. Like that was very, very odd. Like they did it in secret, but they used their kids as like witnesses. And I did see online, like the blood sacrifice they did, those were Valyrian, glyphics, if you will. One was fire, one was blood, and like that's the Targaryen word, fire and blood. So like they are doing good to the lore, but that change with Laenor is a big fucking deal. And poor, Rhaenys, 2 of her kids are gone, and she even said to Corlys, like she wanted Driftmark to pass to Bela's daughter. I mean, to Lena's daughter, Bela, because she knows that Jace and Luke are not really Lenor's children. So I think that's also another big, thing. Like she wants them to stick to House Valerion, and Corlys was like, "No, it's
So,
going to Luke."
do they know about the fire? They know. I mean, obviously they know because there's a new hand, so they just are going to ignore it. I don't know.
Oh no, everyone knows about the fire, and Larys is the new Lord of Harrenhal. Like he even gave Alicent that little heads up nod, and she kind of said that snide remark to Cole, and she basically said it was just his pride. But he's obviously got more working up his sleeve. But you know, I think that's like a big thing because you could see this whole thing is like such a big succession thing. Like Corlys is still on it. Like you should have been queen, and she didn't care. But now it's another generation, and it's another thing being installed, and it's more conflict, and it's more kids getting passed down.
Right. All right. Well, I think that wraps up our episode 7 review. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll be back probably Sunday nights going forward, even quicker for episodes 8, 9, and 10. Hopefully, maybe we'll even have some other guests on. But thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.